Notre Dame to the French press review with Nick Rushworth. Nick, you've been reading the French press today.
Hi Cyril, this Thursday the scoop in the French press is from Le Figaro. There you can see a picture of Lakshmi Mittal, who is the
steel mogul,
steel tycoon, the richest man in the UK and one of the richest people in the world. And he has been controversial in France for the last few weeks now because of this whole wrangling over the future of the Florange steel plant. That plant's in the northeast of the country.
Which he owns, which Mittal, his group owns.
Of course, yeah, it owns several plants here in France. Now, there on that front page, he's saying, well, this whole talk of possibly at one point nationalizing it, that would have been a major step back for a world power economically like France.
And this has been a huge story here because, well, first of all, politically, it was pretty bold from the government to say that they wanted to nationalize the plant, and also because Lakshmi Mittal, in the end, had to end up backing down.
Well, in the inside pages here in the Le Figaro interview, he defends his move to kind of backtrack on this. He's backtracked on what he wanted to do was really to close two blast furnaces which were producing low-end quality steel, and he wanted to focus on the high-end part of the business. Of course, that has not been possible because of all this wrangling with unions and the government. Now, he's saying there, well, yes, this is great. 629 jobs have been saved, so that's a good thing. People don't believe what I'm saying. They don't trust me. Well, you must stick with me. I will stick to my word, he's saying. Now, this has been high stakes brinkmanship, of course, with the whole attention in France going on the industrial recovery minister, a guy called Arnaud Montebourg, who talked about nationalizing. Now, in this interview with Le Figaro, Lakshmi Mittal saying, Arnaud Montebourg, that he would say that shocked the entire world. Look, you can see there, le monde entier a été surpris. You know, the world was surprised by that. Why would you talk about these kinds of things in the 21st century is his argument. So the phrase that stood out for me in that interview is, well, people abroad, foreign investors, are going to think twice about coming to France.
And there's still talk within the French government of whether or not Lakshmi Mittal can be trusted to keep those jobs that he said would be kept on that industrial site. Now, sticking with the future of the Florange steel plant that you've been talking about, there's one regional paper that says it has read internal documents that change everything.
Well, this is the paper Républicain Lorrain. That is in the east of the country, in the Alsace region, near where this plant is, of course. And there you can see the headline there, Florange rentable. Florange is a profitable concern. And there is a document, a union leader has got hold of a document which he says changes everything. Now, the document shows a graphic of the performance production of that plant. And it says it's equal to two other plants in France. Now, ArcelorMittal, which is Lakshmi Mittal's steel company, is saying, no, this is not an official document. So, of course, this story is going to run because it's all to do with, protecting workers' rights in France, and the whole idea of big business doing what it likes is not really the French way to go, as that's the French mentality.
And we've been following that on France 24, and we'll continue to do so. Now, one of the stories also that the French newspapers are looking at is a rather special tweet made by the pontiff himself. The Pope has now tweeted about a week after opening up his Twitter account.
Well, that account is Pontifex, isn't it? And he did indeed tweet. And Slate FR, the French version of the magazine Slate, has got a big story piece on this morning. And it's there saying, well, hold on, actually, the church has been pretty funky online for years now. It goes back to the 1990s. And what do we have today? We have a Pope app coming up.
There's an application,
There's
seriously?
a Pope app coming up. Don't get too excited, Cyril. And we've also got...
what is it? Do we know what it is?
We've got a Facebook account. We've got a news website. We've got all kinds of things. So the church is ahead on this. And one thing, when I looked at this story...
Do we have any word yet on what the application is going to do?
I have no idea about that. But one thing I do recommend to you, Cyril, is if you have time this morning, go to slate.fr, because it has this video which we can look at, showing that, in fact, young Catholic guys can be as funky as the Gangnam phenomenon we've been seeing worldwide. And here on that Slate website, we've got these funky catos doing their business, strutting their stuff outside the Notre Dame, no less.
All right, Catholics getting jiggy with it. Why not? All right, thank you very much, Nicholas Rushworth. And now let's look at what's making headlines around the world.